Holy right cage and dashboard lights, Batman! Hello there and welcome back to Build with the Boys. We now have issue 44 of Hachette's Build the Batmobile Tumbler. Now in this one we are adding the right side of the cage. It is not a repeat of what we did in the left one. Part of it is because we do have to install the cage pretty much the same way, but in this one we will also be installing the light strip to the back of the dash. So there is more to do in this one than there was in the last one. You will need the mystery piece that we got when we built the dash. You'll need this piece as well to go with it. You'll need your dashboard, and we need to unplug the following lights. So you need LED 17 needs to unplug, but you'll also need to LED strip cable 6. So 6 and 17 are the two you need to unplug from your main board, and we're going to be installing them into this one. So without further ado, let's get this one open. Let's get into it. At the end of this one, if you're still going for a bat chat, we'll be talking about the filming and the production of Batman Begins. So let's get into this. If you haven't yet, please remember to like and subscribe. Helps the channel massively, and we just really appreciate your help. For the third time, let's get into this. Okie doke, so here we are with issue 44. Now, you see they put the 44 in it because it's exactly the same. It's an identical box to 43. But I imagine that could cause some confusion. But this is going to be exactly the same as what we got in the last one. And it is. We've got the EP screws, we've got the electrical tape which is going to be in there. And we have a much better wrapped this time frame. So this is our right frame. So we've done this once. So this should be, I hope, fairly straightforward. But let's bring the wires over and let's prep them for installation. Okay, so here is wire number 17. Now, same as last time. The short wire is going to go in here. The long wire is going to go in here. And we're going to bend our wires accordingly. So we do need a 90 degree, which is that right there. And then again, a 90 degree on our other light, which will be like that. So that's exactly how we're going. So this one is going in there. So the one that comes straight off the main wire, we're going to pop into here. Let me get a proper bend on that one. There we go. So that one's going to go in there. This one's going to move over to here, and it's going to slot into here. Nice and simple. So that's how we go in there. The next thing we are going to do is we are going to use a slither of the tape. I'm glad they reminded me, because I nearly forgot this last time, to hold down this wire. As you can see, it's protruding quite significantly, and we don't want that. We want this all locked in. So let's move this wire around. That wire should be coming down there like so. This wire needs to tuck into there, and then we're going to stick this to the actual cockpit itself, cockpit edge. And then our frame should hold the light in, the wire in quite nicely. So let's go here. So that's that one over there. So that's that wire held in. Simple enough. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to turn this on its side. We're going to drape the wire down. We've got another piece of tape. Before we turn it back and screw the cage in. So let's get that done. Okay, so very similar to what we did last time. There is this gap here. There's a tooth out there. We're going to put our wire and we're going to drape it down. That's the way it's going to go. So our wire locks in there. And then with a piece of the electrical tape, we're going to tape this into place. So it's nice and simple. Drape down there, through the gap, hold it in, tape it down. Okay, I'm going to turn this one back round. That's how our wires are now looking. Now we're going to hold all of this in place with the cage and also give some more support to the edge of our cockpit. So let me get this cage ready. Now the way the cage works is this side is going to be protruding, and then you have 1, 2, 3 pins at the bottom. Can you see those pins? That's these pins here. 1, 2, and 3. And they go into the holes here, here, and here. So we're going to get that one popped in, and then we'll screw it into place. Okay, so that's our cage in place. We're going to hold this in with 4, I believe. I think it was 4 the last time. 4 of the EP screws, and I would be right, it is 4 of the EPs. Now, because it's EP, the P stands for plastics, because we're going into plastic, we do not need to use 3-in-1 oil for this. 3-in-1 oil won't help you here, it'll hurt you, and we don't want to do that. So we're just going into plastic. Don't over tighten these, get them into the tight and firm, but don't over tighten it, because all you can do is bore out the plastic. You know, plastic is just going to give, and then you've got a hulking great hole and a bit of a problem. So screw these in until they lock in place. There we go. Because this will, I mean, these are going to attach the chassis anyway, I would imagine. So it's going to get locked even further. So don't worry too much. You don't want this loose, but again, don't over tighten it that you bugger up the plastic, because that would be awful. That would be really awful. And we don't want that. That one's not going in. What's going on there then? Let's try a different one, see if we can just get this all to straighten itself out. That one there. These aren't going in. I need to have a look. Completely my fault. One of the pins wasn't in properly. So make sure your pins lock in properly. If your screws aren't going in, it's because one of your pins is out. But now we know I make these mistakes, so you can avoid them. Right, so this one in here. So this is number 3. Again, don't go mad. Seriously, because you will. This is not thick plastic you're screwed into. You will just chew this up, and then you've got a loose cage. You don't want a loose cage. So it's that one, and then we have one more that's going to go in just here. And then that will be our cage for now, complete. Now I'm going to draw your attention to something in a moment. So there we go. Now, as you can see here, and here, and here, and here, this cage is going to extend. So this cage is going to lead to the back as well. So something is going to plug over these when we bring this together. So this cage is going to extend. It's going to extend quite massively. That's all for the cage. Now we are going to be working on this section of the dash. And what you need before you start that is our LED strip. And this is our LED strip, and it is numbered 6, I believe. Yes, it is. It's number 6. So get that one ready, and then we're going to assemble this. So taking this piece that we got way back when we built the dashboard, we want these 3 holes at the top. So that's the way we're going to be working with it. Taking our LED strip, what we are going to do is our LED strip is going to sit into this central channel here. So it's going to come along here, all the way along, and we want it to fit to there, so our wire is loose from the side. So I'm going to peel this sticker off, and we're going to get this in place. Okay, now mine seems like it's too long, but we'll find out. You can trim these. I wouldn't recommend it, but you can. So I'm gonna make it work, even if mine seems like it's about 1 centimetre too long. I don't know why that is, because normally they're too bloody short, but mine seems like it's going to be way too long, and I don't want that. But it is what it is. We will make it work. Right, so we're going to get this very, very, very sticky backing off of here. So that's that off. Now, the end that I care about is the end of the wire. That's the end that matters the most, and that is going to be this end. So I need to make sure that that is as flush as humanly possible with the end. Everything else, as far as I'm concerned, is secondary. So let's get that, yeah, that's where we want this. And let's get this wire right in. I say it's too long, it's not, that's alright. That's okay. It just fits snug right up to the end. So that is a full strip right there. Now, there is a notch, as you can see there, and your wire needs to go through that notch. So we're going to go back on ourselves a little bit and bring it over that notch there. That's how we want this to be. Okay? So that wire is going to go through that notch. When we screw this in, that's going to be relevant. So that is where that goes. So let's bring our dash over. So this is the dash we're going to be working on now. Taking the piece we've just completed, holding our wire in place. We want to make sure our wire is correct. We are going to be sitting down onto here like so. So that's how we're going to be going in. And then I'm going to screw this in place with 1, 2, 3 of the EP screws. So let's get that done. So that's how we're now looking. That's all screwed in. I mean, just dark on dark on dark. But that's looking good. That's looking nice. I'm going to see if we can test these electrics and see if we can see the side lights we just put in light up. And if we can see the dash light up as well. Okay, so this is the side lights in. If I hit my button on my tester here. Lovely stuff. Those are working nice. Nice glow. Looking good. And next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to see, I don't know if I can, I'm going to see if I can test the electrics in this panel. Okay, so hopefully we can get some light out of the instrument panel. Aha! There we go. Looking nice. Looking really nice. Now, I appreciate it washes out on the screen, so what I'm seeing, I can still see the detail and whatnot in the panels. I'm getting no washout on my side. You're seeing this glaring white light. It doesn't look like that with my naked eyes, believe me. But that's looking lovely. That's looking really good, and I am happy with that. Let's have a chat. So that's stage 44 done, and it's looking lovely. Those lights look really nice. Now, I appreciate my camera doesn't catch the light in the way I'd like it to. So what I see is very different to what you see. What you'll be seeing is just this white because the camera's just absorbing all the light. Whereas I can see the detailing in each of the screens and whatnot. It looks lovely. I'm looking at it now and I've got a stupid smile on my face. And it's nice to see Tumbler starting to come together. It really is. That's all for the build instructions. If you are just stopping by for the build instructions, thank you for stopping by. Please remember to like and subscribe, helps us massively. If you're sticking around for a bat chat, we're talking about the filming of Batman Begins. So we've got a cast, we've got everything, we've got a script, got a cast, and we're away in filming. It was filmed in 3 locations, so it's filmed in, well, more than that. England, America, and Iceland is where it's filmed. The first thing that was built was Ra's al Ghul's village and the doors to his temple, I suppose. And those were built in Iceland. And they had a lot of problems. So they decided that the weather had been perfect for them. They were going to build it and off they go. It all built okay, but then they got hit with 75 mile per hour winds and it caused havoc. The other problem they had was there'd been a lot of snow. Now there was no snow. So they built and all the snow had disappeared. So it didn't quite go accordingly to plan. But yeah, Ra's al Ghul's, the doors and the village around it were built specifically for the movie, and they're built in Iceland. I believe they're meant to be in Nepal in the movie, but Iceland is where those filmed. And I believe they're still there, so you can go and see them. The rest of the movie was shot in England, Shepperton Studios. The bulk of it, probably about 80% of the movie, was filmed in, was filmed in Shepperton Studios. Where lots has been filmed over the years. Most notably, 2001 Space Odyssey was filmed on the same soundstage as Batman Begins. It's also now used for Marvel movies. So Shepperton Studios, this was the first, I think one of the first very, very big Hollywood blockbusters of recent times that was filmed there. And ever since then, everything gets filmed there now. So a couple of the Harry Potter movies were shot there for the larger sequences, most notably the Goblet of Fire. But a lot of Marvel movies are shot there now. So Guardians of the Galaxy was shot there. I think all 3 Thor films were shot there. 2 of the Captain America movies. They've got very big sound stages. But for the actual set design of Batman, unlike the Schumacher and the Tim Burton movies, Christopher Nolan didn't want exterior sets built. So no exterior sets are really built, with the exception of Ra's al Ghul's temple. Everything else was filmed on streets of London, Chicago, and New York because they wanted it to look real. These are real buildings. These aren't these ridiculously over-the-top Gothic buildings. They want it to just look like a city. So the Tumbler chase, all of that pretty much was filmed in Chicago. So every time you see the Tumbler tear along streets, anything like that, 90 at least 90% of that was filmed in Chicago. Where the Tumblers indoors and whatnot, that was done on sound stages, but the exterior of the Tumbler chase and the Tumbler action sequences were all filmed in Chicago. The name escapes me, and that's going to bother me, but it was something Towers. Sorry about this, it bothers me, but it was, it's this one. Mentmore Towers. So that's Mentmore Towers in Buckinghamshire. That was used as Wayne Manor, the Institute of Medical Research in London, and also St Pancras Station were used as Arkham Asylum. So the medical institution was used as the exterior. They filmed interior scenes, particularly where the water's been polluted, inside St Pancras Station. So they used kind of the areas that are off grounds to the public. But that's what they use them. So the reason why there's so much realism to this movie is because these are real locations. They exist. So it's not like some artists had to go in and create grime or something. Grime exists because grime is there. And it was a big deal. And I can remember when they were filming this that they couldn't get shots of Batman. They just kept getting shots of Liam Neeson. And they're like, is the Batman moving a Batman? Because they were expecting to see, like the Schumacher and the Tim Burton movies, these sort of garish outfits and whatnot, and they never got them. So expectations were low, but early word was good. So when they were looking at the dailies, they were like, this is actually looking like it's going to be a bloody good film. But again, no one was really expecting much. This didn't excite anyone. And Time has remembered this film more favourably than it actually was received. So it was released to very little fanfare. It wasn't this big, it wasn't, right? It was released kind of like, oh, there's a new Batman movie coming. And it didn't have the massive kind of fanfare or expectation that people had. It just sort of turned up. And we'll talk about exactly what it did at the box office in the next one, and also how it shaped pretty much every superhero movie you watch today. Because it did, it genuinely did. This is the first example of the modern superhero movies. So those movies that we know now, that's the MCU, and more importantly, the DC Extended Universe, exactly what this did and didn't do for those franchises. But that is all for this one. We'll be back very, very soon when we're building our first shock absorber, well, first parts for the first shock absorber. In a world where you can be anything at all, just be nice. Please remember to like and subscribe. It helps the channel massively. If you'd like to contact us, you can contact us buildingtheboys@outlook.com. But until next time, remember, Gotham needs us. I'll see you soon.